answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. And he said, Come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Jesus stretched forth his hand and caught him and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? And when they were coming to the ship, the wind ceased. Then they that were in the ship came and worshipped him, saying, Of a truth thou art the Son of God. And when they were gone over, they came unto the land of Gennesaret. I want to bring to you tonight as a topic, there's power in your problem. Look at somebody and say, there's power in your problem. Come on, look at somebody else and say, there's power in your problem. Now let's make this personal. Point to yourself and say, self, there's power in my problem. Have your seat, have your seat. It is very imperative that I lay a foundation and to help you to understand that if you are saved for more than a minute, it is very important that you understand that storms are going to be inevitable. We have preached some kind of crazy gospel in the church in this last day, that when people get saved, everything is going to be good all the time, and you're never going to face anything, and you're never going to go through any trials and any circumstances. And that's the reason we're creating more backsliders in the church than we are saints. Because we're not equipping people and helping people to understand that in this walk with God, there comes situations and tumultuous ordeals arise against us to try to make us boycott the plan of God for our lives. It is very important that you understand that storms are inevitable, that we all go through storms, from the pulpit to the pew. We all go through storms. I don't care how much you speak in tongues. I don't care how much you fall out on the floor and get lit in your hair. You're going to go through a storm. All storms can be categorized into four groups. All storms can be categorized into four groups: emotional storms, physical storms, financial storms, and the most horrific storm you can go through would have to be a spiritual storm. These storms come to make us give up on what God has for us. There are some people in this house tonight that came here and you shouted and you smiled and you raised hands and you've given an offering, but if truth be told, you're going through pure hell right now. And it seems like that everything that could go wrong is going wrong in your mind, in your body, in your family. No matter what it is, it seems like it's being broken down in your life. These disciples saw themselves in the same type of situation. For the Bible tells us that Jesus had given them a commandment to go to the other side. And as they began to launch out, the Bible says that when they were in the middle of doing what God told them to do, in the middle of the sea, they found themselves in a storm. The Bible tells us that it was contrary. In other words, it was opposing where they were trying to go. And anytime you start to obey God, you might as well go ahead and expect something to happen. If you're not fighting anything, it could be you're headed in the wrong direction. Because anytime you really start, I can't get no help here tonight, but anytime you really start heading in the direction God has called you to head in, storms are going to try to oppose you and keep you back. Because oftentimes the devil knows about more where you're headed to than you do. The Bible says that they found themselves in a storm, and the Bible says that they were afraid, they were scared. But the Bible says something very interesting. Jesus was not with them. Jesus was in a mountain praying, and the Bible says at the fourth watch of the night, he began to come unto them. Now it's very important that you understand. Let me lay this foundation and then I'll get to why I'm here. It's very important that you understand. The Bible says that they were in the middle of the sea, and at evening a storm came that was contrary. Evening is sundown, it is dusk. But the fourth watch of the night, when Jesus began to make his descent out of the mountain to go toward the people, the fourth watch of the night was anywhere between 3 and 6 a.m. in the morning. How come God waited as long as he waited to come down to rescue his people? It's not like he didn't know, because he's omniscient. He knows all. How come he waited as long as he did? I'm here to submit to you tonight that if Jesus would come to your rescue the first time you called him, oftentimes we wouldn't give him praise. if he came to us as soon as we felt a raindrop and we saw the lightning flash and the thunder roar, we would sit back at the beginning of the storm. If he rescued us, we